Very good morning, students. For this lecturing video session, I am going to start a new chapter of statics of particles, which is nothing but the forces in space. Forces in space, which is nothing but which don't lie in the same plane, that is non-coplanar, which is nothing but the non-coplanar forces, which is 3D. Right. In the previous chapters, so I taught you a particle when it is subjected with the external forces, right, which is acting on the same plane, considering the concurrent coplanar forces, and solve the problems, isn't it? But in the real engineering problems, the forces which don't lie in the, or the particle which don't lie in the same plane, they may lie in the space, that is 3 dimension, right. In the previous chapter, which was in the same plane, that is the coplanar forces, same plane, that is 2D. When you talk about forces in the space, which is nothing but the 3 dimension, the position of the particle is defined in x direction, y direction and z directions, which are measured from the origin. So before I get into detail, let me just give brief idea about the vector operation, which you would have learned in your +2, right? Vector operations. The vector operations include the vector addition, vector subtraction, the dot product, otherwise it is called as scalar product, and cross product, otherwise it can be called as vector product. So these are the 4. So as far as vector addition is concerned, you will just sum up the ijk components. The ijk components with respect to x direction, y direction and z direction respectively, isn't it? So then as far as vector subtraction is concerned, you will just subtract the negative ijk components. And as far as dot product or scalar product is concerned, it is kind of a multiplication of the ijk components. And cross product or the vector product, that is mainly for the matrix format, that is to find the moments. Got it? So see, as far as force in space is concerned, I am going to, that means which will talk about the vector approach. That is basically for the vector approach. Vector approach. See, vector means what? It has both magnitude and direction. And the chapter it is non-coplanar forces. The particle which don't lie in the same plane, it may lie in the space, that is in 3 dimensions. Right, vector approach. So consider a force. Let me just start. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis, and this is the origin O. This is force vector, and this is the angle with represent to the axis x, and this is the direction representing y, and this is the angle theta z. Consider a force which is acting at the origin, if the force making an angle theta x, theta y and theta z with respect to x, y and z axis, right? And the force vector can be written as force vector is represented in this way, is represented f of x vector plus f of y vector plus f of z vector. So f of x can be written as f of x into I component, and f of y vector can be written as f of y into j component, and f of z vector is written as f of z in k component. Got it? So therefore, f vector can be written as f of x I plus f of y j plus f of z k. F vector can be written as in this way. Right. So f of x is equal to f into cos theta x. So the force which is acting in the x direction is nothing but the magnitude of force into the cosine, the direction of cosine. So f of y is written as f into cos theta y. F of z is equal to f into cos theta z. The magnitude of the force, can be written as f, or in other words modulus of f, which is equal to root of f of x square plus f of y square plus f of z square. Right? Fine. And the direction cosine, cosines. See the cosines of theta x, theta y and theta z are known as direction cosine of the force f vector. Got it? Let cos theta x as L, cos theta y as M, and cos theta z as N. The direction cosine are not independent and are related by the expressions L square equal to L square plus M square plus N square equal to 1. So in the other words, what is L? Which is cos theta x. So it can be written as cos square theta x plus cos square theta y plus cos square theta z is equal to 1. So direction of cosine. Fine. So the ijk components are representing the x direction, y direction and z directions. So let me just throw some light on the unit vector and the position vector. What do you mean by unit vector? Unit vector. The vector whose magnitude is unity is known as unit vector. The vector whose magnitude is unity is known as unit vector. So, as you know that force vector equal to magnitude of force into lambda. Right, lambda is the unit vector. So, unit vector can be represented with lambda. So, lambda equal to force vector by magnitude of force, which can be written as f of xi plus f of yj plus f of zk divided by root of f of x square plus f of y square plus f of z square. So, lambda equal to. So, the unit vector can be written as in this way. Right. Suppose the force which is acting in the 2 points, assume which is acting here as a point and B point. The coordinate or the locations in xy direction as assumed as x1, y1 and z1 for A, and for B point x2, y2 and z2. These are the locations or the coordinates. So, how this can be written in unit vector? So, lambda equal to AB vector by modulus of AB vector. What do you mean by AB vector? AB vector can be written as B vector minus A vector. Right, B minus A. So, what is B? Yeah, just listen carefully here. So, AB, that is B vector minus A vector. The position is x2 for here. So, x2 minus x1 in which direction? Which is in the x direction, which can be denoted in I component. Got it? And plus y position, which is B minus A in y. So, y2 minus y1 in y direction, which can be represented in j component, plus z2 minus z1 in k, that is in the z direction, divided by modulus of AB, which can be written as root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square plus z2 minus z1 the whole square. Got it? This is unit vector. Got it? So, next one is position vector. Position vector. The position vector of a point A with respect to B, that is the origin, is the vector of BA. So, assume 2 points, again 2 points. This is A and this is B. So, let me just take this up because what did I say? B as the origin, right? A here. So, that means the position vector of a point A with respect to the origin B is the vector of BA. So, B is the origin and A is the point. So, this location can be written as x1, y1 and z1, and this can be written as x2, y2 and z2. These are the coordinates or the locations in the space which can be represented in x direction, y direction and z directions, isn't it? And the position vector can be represented by r vector, small r vector. This can be denoted as r vector. So, r vector, that is position vector, equal to BA, that is origin BA vector. So, this can be written as A vector minus B vector. That is equal to, in x direction, how this can be written? x2 minus x1, because it is in x direction. So, this can be denoted as I component. plus in y direction y2 minus y1 in j component plus z2 minus z1 k component. So this is the position vector. Got it? Right. Next, the equilibrium of a particle in space. Equilibrium of a particle in space. A particle in space will be in equilibrium when the resultant of all the forces acting on it is 0. Got it? Let me just repeat. A particle in space will be in equilibrium when the resultant of all the forces acting on it is 0. So the resultant vector R equal to Rxi plus Ryj plus Rzk equal to 0 because all the resultant force will be 0. So this can be written as summation of forces in x direction I component plus summation of forces in y direction, that is a j component. What is the resultant? It's a sum of forces, right, in x direction. So that is a sum of forces in x direction. This is sum of forces in y direction. That is the resultant force in y direction. Next, the sum of forces in z direction as k. Got it? This can be written equal to 0. This can be written as summation of f of x equal to 0, summation of f of y equal to 0 and summation of f of z equal to 0. So this is the suitable and the necessary condition of a equilibrium condition of a particle in space. In short, it is a 3-dimension. When the particles in space under equilibrium condition, sum of forces in x direction equal to 0, sum of forces in y direction equal to 0, sum of forces in z direction is equal to 0. As far as the 2D, that is if the forces are acting in the same plane, that is a coplanar, that is a concurrent coplanar forces, that is 2D. What about the equation I taught you? Sum of all the forces equal to 0, or in other words, summation of forces in x direction equal to 0, or sum of vertical forces equal to 0, or in other words, sum of f of y equal to 0. This is for 2D, that is lying in the same plane, in a single plane. Single plane, that is 2D. So when you talk about the particle which is in space and is under equilibrium condition, r is equal to 0, then sum of force f of x is equal to 0, sum of y is equal to 0 and sum of forces in z direction is 0. Hope you have all understood the concept of the forces in space by vector approach. So in the upcoming videos, I will solve the problem by using the concept of vector and make you understand in detail. Thank you.